back to another video, man. And today, man, we got Jay-Z versus Nas. Who really won? This is the part 2 to the reaction right here. I'm not somebody told me in the comment section that this guy who made this video is a well-known Jay-Z supporter, like a stan of Jay-Z. So I don't know if this video is too accurate. I feel like they're picking sides, but basically I don't really think he's talking about who really won the battle, but we're gonna see, because at the end we watching the rest of it, we finishing the rest of it. Currently right now it is it's 3:08 Monday morning. I am recording at 3 in the morning, and yes, that is Lauryn Hill on my lock screen. You feel me? That's my inspiration right now. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Like that just goes to show, like, Lauryn Hill and Nas, they like this, you feel me? So, you know, come on now. But without further ado, y'all make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, turn on the post notification bell to be notified every time I drop a video, man. And yeah, let's see what they talking about on here.
Jay made 2 records, ladies and gentlemen. He made 2 records. One was so garbage that it played for one night and never played again, and nobody ever talked about it. He called himself European Jay. He called himself a European in the beginning of the record. Correct. And that's very correct. Then he put out the Super Ugly joint. What is that? Then I hear a record, the people are talking, where he's saying my rhymes like Judas and your arms.
Oh yeah, if y'all want me to react to that Super Ugly rap by Jay-Z, y'all let me know, you feel me? Because y'all told me that was like bad and he was crying on a radio station, and they said that his mom made him apologize and all that stuff. Like, y'all let me know if y'all want me to react to that.
And that's very correct. Then he put out the Super Ugly joint. What is that? Then I hear a record, the people are talking, where he's saying my rhymes like Judas and your arms too short to box. And then he wants to drop the album the same day as me.
The first diss track that dropped that went over people's heads was a track called People Talkin'. This was the last track featured on Jay-Z's MTV Unplugged 2001 album that came out the same day as Nas's Stillmatic album in December 18th, 2001. Now, this is a track that went over people's heads, but it did not go over Nas's head. He knew he was getting shots from Jay-Z subliminally on this track. However, people seem to forget about this track, because if you check out the Jay-Z MTV Unplugged album, that track is nowhere on there anymore. The track has gone missing from that album. The only way I got it was from a mixtape that was released in November 2001.
Don't you know, when you're defeated, won't you throw in the towel? I'm better with vowels. I'm a man of...
Yeah, that's how I know this guy gotta be a Jay-Z fan off rip, because he said it was nowhere to be found, but somehow I got it off a mixtape. Like, nah. You feel me? We need somebody who is not biased in this situation. Like, I feel like I'm not biased because I didn't grow up in this era. 1, 2, I don't listen to these artists as much as I listen to the new generation. I don't really care who's better out of the 2. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. But as I've been reacting, well, you gotta think, I only reacted to 2 albums. I only reacted to 2 albums by Jay-Z and 3 albums by Nas. And we about to do the Black album. That's coming up next. We're gonna start doing that album in the beginning of February. So, you know, these next couple of reactions y'all about to see is probably about to be just some different stuff, like different videos until February. We gotta have some videos to do in February. February we doing the Black album reaction by Jay-Z, Eminem, Revival, and Machiavelli, 7 Day Theory. You feel me? So, you know, we starting off February nice.
Damn near invincible. Damn it, man, this is a gift from God. This ain't happenstance, and your arms are too short to box. Plus me knuckle up on off the dust.
Fast forward to December 11th, 2001, and as we all know, Jay-Z stopped by Hot 97 and spoke with Angie Martinez, and this is the day that he released 2 freestyle tracks going at Nas. The first one was called Don't You Know. This track was a direct shot at Nas It was only played once on Hot 97 and then never played again. This is something that Nas mentions in his interview. He says he released a whack freestyle that got swept under the rug because apparently the response was negative to it and it never got played again. However, this is what happened with this track. If you search up the Don't You Know track, you'll see that it's part of the 2002 Paid in Full soundtrack. However, this version wasn't the version that was played on the radio station that night. The version that's on the soundtrack had the first verse removed. The first verse was directly taking shots at Nas. Jay-Z even mentioned Nas's name in the freestyle. But because of the negative reaction when it was played on radio, that diss was swept under the rug and we never heard it again. But of course, as the internet goes, eventually things leak. But the quality of that leak was bad. I managed to find a better quality so you guys can actually hear it.
Just as fuck Nas and fuck off the continent. Will he be content? Does this fuck guy think that he's top because of tattoos he got in the video he shot? Oh fuck nah. What lies ahead is your past. Your whole entire life I rewind with one shotgun blast.
And Just Blaze was interviewed about this track and he spoke on why it got removed from being a diss track and why that first verse was removed entirely from the soundtrack. He did an interview with Complex back in 2011 and said originally that was a Nas diss record. The version that came out was not the one that was originally done. If I'm not mistaken, he recorded the Nas diss version, sent it to Funkmaster Flex, and then it went away. I want to say Flex played it in one time and that was it. Then we changed it around. There was still subtle diss shots at Nas, but it wasn't a Nas diss record anymore. They needed the record from Jay for the Paid in Full soundtrack, and Jay kind of wanted that to be his Who Shot Ya. It wasn't for an album. Remember, originally Who Shot Ya wasn't on Ready to Die. They put it on there when they remastered it. He just wanted to have a dope record that was just for the streets. We had the record laying around for a while and decided to use it for Paid in Full. After that, of course, came Super Ugly, and this was the most disrespectful track from Jay-Z. He's talking about smashing Nas's ex and skeeting off in the back seat while their child is in there, and it just took things to a different level. This is where a lot of people thought, you know, it would.
Jay-Z cracked Nas's baby mother's, his ex. He cracked his baby mother in the back seat of a car. Not only did he crack Nas's baby mother in the back seat of a car, in front of his daughter. What? Nah, that's insane. That's insane.
We had the record laying around for a while and decided to use it for Paid in Full. After that, of course, came Super Ugly, and this was the most disrespectful track from Jay-Z. He's talking about smashing Nas's ex and skeeting off in the back seat while their child is in there, and it just took things to a different level. This is where a lot of people thought, you know, it would turn into violence because of how disrespectful this track was. Jay-Z even got Allen Iverson involved into this, saying that Allen Iverson smashed Nas's ex as well.
It was on like that, I would come through Queens with Queens niggas. You know how I do. Look, I got more shooters in Queensbridge than you. Me and the boy AI got more in common than just ballin' and rhyming. Get it? More in common. I came in your Billy back seat, skeeted in your Jeep, left condoms on your baby seat. Here, nigga, the gloves is off.
Hold up. So Nas's baby mother name is Carmen. He said we have more in common. You get it? Carmen. He said something like that. Listen.
And the boy AI got more in common than just ballin' and rhyming. Get it? More in common. I came in your Billy back seat, skeeted in.
He basically said he did it in Nas's cars. In his cars. It wasn't even Jay-Z cars. He ain't just cracked them. He cracked them in Nas's cars.
Your Jeep, left condoms on your baby seat. Here, nigga, the gloves is off. The love is done. It's whatever, whenever, however, nigga. One. And since you infatuated with saying that gay shit, yeah, she was kissing my dick when you was kissing that bitch.
After this freestyle premiered,
Oh no. I gotta react to that. I have to react to it. I ain't gonna react to it tonight. So when y'all see my reaction to Super Ugly, I'm not gonna be in this shirt. Believe that. Come on now.
Angie Martinez and Hot 97 asked the fans who actually won this beef based on these two tracks. And Nas ended up winning the voting percentage with 58% of the votes, and Jay-Z got 42% of the votes. So according to New York, it was
I'm not gonna lie to you. Ether or Super Ugly, just based off the little bit that I heard from Super Ugly, I'm gonna say Ether because I play that almost every day in the car though. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm trying to learn the words. Like, he was talking crazy. And the crazy thing is about Nas and Jay-Z is I like both of their they got one album that I just really like. Like, Nas got Stillmatic, Jay-Z got The Blueprint. You feel me? And they both came out what? Didn't they both come out 2001? So it's just like, like I didn't really like Unreasonable Doubt. I mean, I'm not gonna say I really didn't like it. It's just, I don't know. I feel like Blueprint is his best album in my opinion. And at Illmatic, I didn't really get a chance to really appreciate it as much as I should have. But as I go back and re-listen to some of the songs, I regret rating it what I did. You feel me? But for now, no, we about to start something new. We about to start rating the whole album. Like, we rate individual songs, but what I'm gonna start doing is I'm gonna start like basically adding up all the numbers, dividing it by however many songs, and figuring out the overall rating for the album. So now, when we go back, I could be like, okay, I gave this album a 7.9 or a 8.8 overall album, which is still a great album, you feel me? So, you know, we're going to start doing stuff like that. We're going to get real technical on this channel, you feel me?
unanimous decision that Nas won this battle at this time. The next day, Jay-Z went to Hot 97 once again, and a lot of people were expecting him to release another diss track. Because of what happened with the voting, Nas clearly won the battle according to New Yorkers. However, Jay-Z did the exact opposite. He actually went up there to apologize to Nas after releasing the Super Ugly diss track. He said the reason he's apologizing was because his mom was listening to the radio station last night when he performed Super Ugly and said it was very distasteful and that he should apologize to Nas and his family and that he should have never brought Nas's ex and kids into this situation. The crazy thing is I couldn't find a single clip of Jay-Z when he went up to Hot 97.
You a Jay-Z fan. Keep in mind, he's a Jay-Z fan. Now, out of the blue, out of the blue, you feel me? So you mean to tell me you couldn't find the diss track on that Paid in Full album? You couldn't find a clear version of it. It's nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found. Nope, nowhere to be found. But somehow you found it. You found it on a mixtape. Am I correct? Now, out of the blue, when Jay-Z, when it's time for him to apologize on a radio station, I can't find it. I don't like that, man. I don't like that. You gotta be real, my brother. You feel me? That's why you can't be biased, because now it's like you trying to cover up for Jay-Z. You feel me? It's like you're not trying to make him look soft or make him look bad. Facts is facts. You feel me? If Nas had to apologize and that was a rare footage, I bet you would have found a way to find it. You feel me?
Apologize to Nas and his family that he should have never brought Nas's ex and kids into this situation. The crazy thing is I couldn't find a single clip of Jay-Z when he went up to Hot 97 and premiered Super Ugly, or even when he apologized to Nas. There's only a 30-second clip online where Jay-Z responds to Ether and gives his thoughts on the track.
If you weren't you, would you think Ether was a hot joint?
I would be a little like me as a guy. Like, I would listen to the last verse and be like, wow, like, dude, wow. You understand? Like it's just it's uneasy. You know?
Okay.
Like, I'm maybe like with the it's hard, man. It's very vulgar. You know what I'm saying?
Can we talk about Summer Jam for a second?
Yeah.
What the hell was that?
It just
Jay-Z responds to Ether and gives his thoughts on the track.
Oh.
If you weren't you,
I thought he somehow found the clip, but this is just a clip of Jay-Z explaining how he felt about Ether. Okay.
Would you think Ether was a hot joint?
I would be a little like me as a guy. Like I would listen to the last verse and be like, wow, like dude, wow. You understand? Like it just it's uneasy. You know?
Okay.
Like I'm even like with the it's just the star man, Babe Vogel. You know what I'm saying?
Can we talk about Summer Jam for a second?
Yeah.
What the hell was that?
Angel Martinez says when she interviewed Jay-Z, this is when she felt like Jay-Z was defeated. He wasn't his normal confident self in the interview. However, I did find articles that wrote about this interview when it happened and a bunch of quotes of what Jay-Z said when the interview was going on. Apparently, he said, "Mom put in a call and said that went too far and she's never ever called me about music." So I was like, okay, I'll go shut it down. Jay-Z told Angel Martinez, who earlier in the week premiered Super Ugly on her show. However, Jigga did not take sole responsibility for the issue, instead saying that he wished he hadn't stooped to the level of his competition by bringing the mother of Nas's child into it. He said, "Once again, I apologize. I felt like I didn't think about women's feelings or Nas's girlfriend's feelings or even my mom. It was really like, let me meet your level of disrespect with this level of disrespect." Jay-Z also said that he figured that the track, as an answer to Nas's Ether, would get plenty of airtime on local mixtapes, but he never expected it to get heavy rotation on radio. He said, "Freestyles usually go away in 2 weeks. I didn't know it was going to be the official battle of beats, 7-hour marathon. It was just an answer to disrespect. I didn't go in the studio to make a song. I made a 2-minute freestyle." The following week, Nas decided to stop by Hot 97 and talk to Funkmaster Flex about Jay-Z's diss tracks, about Jay-Z apologizing, what he thought of those things, and if he felt like he won. And this was the day after Nas's Stillmatic came out, which was December 19th, 2001. And the album ended up debuting at number 8 on the Billboard 200 and sold about 342,000 copies within the first week. And the review
340. Hold up. He said 300 and what? 300 and what?
was December 19th, 2001. And the album ended up debuting at number 8 on the Billboard 200 and sold about 342,000 copies.
342,000 copies in the first week. Rappers in this generation is not even pulling out those type of numbers. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. The only artist that's pulling those type of numbers is Nicki Minaj. She's pulling like 200,000 in a week. Maybe Drake, he's pulling like 170 in a week, like 217 in a week. Like my favorite rapper is NBA Youngboy. The most he ever pulled in a week was 100, I think like 120,000. He did like 100 and then 120,000. In 2019, he was only what? He was 19 when that came out, when that album came out. He went number 1 behind Jail, behind Bars. He was 21, he was 20 years old. Well, he was 19, about to be 20. You feel me? In 2019. He went number 1 behind Bars. The only 3 rappers that ever do that was Eminem and Lil Wayne and Tupac. You feel me? And then NBA Youngboy. He did it at 19 years old. And then went number 1 again. Had another 120,000 records sold first week for his album in 2022. Yep. Yep. Sorry, now this has nothing to do with NBA Youngboy, but I'm just comparing numbers from back then and now, and the numbers aren't the same. But that's maybe because it wasn't a Wi-Fi back then. It wasn't like no cell phones for real. Like literally everything was bought pure, like probably at stores. Like you couldn't download it on your phone. They probably didn't even have phones. They probably had like pagers and freaking beepers. The freak going on. Like, come on now.
It was December 19th, 2001. And the album ended up debuting at number 8 on the Billboard 200 and sold about 342,000 copies within the first week. And the reviews on it were amazing. A lot of people liked it. There was rarely any negative reviews, and a lot of people felt like Nas was finally back.
Everything I said come to light. Y'all deal with emotions like women. I said you always making songs dissing women. I said you pop-ish, apologize later. Everything I said was dealing with reality, science.
Well, you know you got his name from jazz.
Well, it's at 97, blazing about 90 Nas. But my question I was getting to, I mean, he said that when
This is all love.
when
This is all love and
when Jay-Z was here with Angie, he was expressing that, you know, that his mom called him and spoke on the situation and then everything concerning women and bringing up Carmen's name and how that wasn't a good flow. And I want to know how you guys, Jungle, how you guys feel about that.
But at the same time, I can also, though, respect where a parent would come in. That's real.
But you don't supposed to admit it. You
I mean, however,
you don't supposed to let nobody know that.
Yeah, but bust this out. I can also respect whatever, you know, when Mama Love comes into the play, that's the end. It's a rap. You can't, it's, you know what I'm saying? That's the rap, yo.
So you respected that?
I respect that.
All right.
You know, I respect that.
After this, there was no more direct shots at each other on tracks. A lot of the beef had died down. Nas was focusing on something more personal in his life. His mom was battling cancer, and his mom ended up passing away in April of 2002. So he was going through his own personal problems. Jay-Z was working on his next album and was working on building Rockefeller into a bigger brand and helping his current artists. So none of the artists were focused on the battle anymore, but the subliminal shots and tracks did not stop. It was announced in May of 2002 that Nas was going to headline the upcoming Hot 97 Summer Jam show. As we know, last year, Jay-Z was the headliner and decided to go at Nas directly and Mobb Deep and went at everybody else. Now it was Nas's turn to be the headliner.
Oh yeah, y'all been telling me to react to Mobb Deep too, man. Like, that's gonna be a while before we get to that. We got a lot of albums to do. So, you know, y'all be patient. We is gonna get to it eventually. Y'all just have to remind me as the time get closer and closer. Like, next time I ask for the next albums to do on my community tab, y'all know what to do, man. Come on now.
Of course, rumors started to come up about Nas reigniting the battle between Jay-Z at the Summer Jam show. Well, June 26th, 2002 came, and Nas was nowhere to be found at Summer Jam. And of course, Nas got backlash for not performing there. Fans were really upset. Hot 97 said they had...
I mean, what you mean? Like, his mom just died in April. Like, what, bro? His mom died in April, and then y'all wanted him to headline in May? I don't care if he agreed to do it or not. You don't know what he was going through. Like, it kind of sounds like I'm taking Nas' side right now, but that's just logic sense. Like, come on now. If your mom just died and your mom played a big role in your life and she just died less than a month ago, and then they want you to perform at this live event, bro. Like, no, bro, he's not in the right state of mind right now. Relax.
Show. Well, June 26th, 2002 came, and Nas was nowhere to be found at Summer Jam. And of course, Nas got backlash for not performing there. Fans were really upset. Hot 97 said they had nothing to do with Nas not showing up. So of course, Nas had to go on radio stations and clear up all these rumors. The funny thing is, that same night that he didn't perform, he actually went to a radio station and clarified why he wasn't performing that night. And the radio station that he went to was the rival radio station of Hot 97, which was Power 105.
My people know why I'm not at the Summer Jam. I've been bamboozled, hoodwinked, in the whole nine, man. I was told and begged to do the Summer Jam. I was begged to come to Hot 97 because I had a hot new record that nobody wanted to support except for the streets. And it was told to come there and save Angie Martinez's job. And I was told to come there and help the ratings at Hot 97 by Flex, you know, and the rest of the crew over there. But I'm here to let my people know, you know what I'm saying? All my hip hop community people know that I was dissed this morning by Hot 97 and told that what I couldn't do on the show, which is really outrageous. It really shows that the wrong people are in power. You know, his hip hop thing comes from the streets. We need our freedom. If y'all ain't gonna go for this fight for y'all freedom, y'all gonna be like them sucker artists that just go up to the radio station and kiss ASS. just to get some airtime or just suck Flex or suck Clue and them trying to get on their best side so they can play your record. I'm gonna tell Nas, me, myself, what I cannot do on a Summer Jam stage when it's been done. The same acts have been done
4 or 5 years in a row.
4 or 5 years in a row, and last year it happened to be the diss was toward me by Jay, and he was all high and mighty.
Right.
Then I dropped the Ether Napalm Bomb, and the whole crew was running like roaches, and now you got this station over there crying because he lost. Unanimous decision, he lost. And they played his records like he was dead, like it was a Jay-Z memorial. You know, not saying he was, don't get me wrong, y'all.
Yo.
Not wishing that on any man. And that's my brother, but I'm saying
You just looking for a fair play.
a fair play, and it's really out of hand, y'all. I'm not going for it.
Then the next day, Angie Martinez and Sonny from Hot 97 responded to what Nas said. They said the only problem that the station had with Nas's performance was a planned mock lynching he wanted to do with Jay-Z. Angie Martinez explained management told him not to do it. Nas then decided if he couldn't do that portion of the show, he didn't want to do any of the show. We were not trying to protect a specific artist. This was not about politics, money, nothing. This was just a decision made, and that's the truth. Then on the same day, Wendy Williams decided to air her interview with Nas, and Nas said, "They don't even know what I was about to do. It wasn't even Jay I was coming after. I can't even divulge everything I was going to do on that stage that was going to raise the bar of hip-hop music." So around this time, Nas was denying that he was going to lynch Jay-Z at his Summer Jam show. And as we all know, later on, Nas admitted that he was going to lynch Jay-Z at the Summer Jam show. And even footage came out 10 years later in 2012 of the designing of Jay-Z and how he's going to look when he's going to get lynched. Nas was asked about this in 2012 and he denied to comment on it.
Hi, I'm Michael Burnett, special effects artist, working on an effect for Nas. This is Jay-Z, one of Nas's close friends, that we're going to hang. And since Jay-Z wouldn't really let us hang him, we've made this. This is the silicone head. This is the skin that's going to go on our animatronic figure.
I don't know if you've been online today. Something surfaced online. The video, obviously, you and Jay talked about the Summer Jam, what you plan to do. There was almost like a documentary that came out online. I don't know if you've seen about the making of this stunt.
I just heard about that today.
Like, how does that make you feel? If it's 10 years later, how does that surface and how does that make you feel? Like, why does that surface 10 years later?
I really don't want to even acknowledge it, man. It's like everybody's in a different place. You know what I'm saying? I don't even want to acknowledge it. I can't acknowledge that.
As we all know, in 2002, Jay-Z and R. Kelly released their collab album, The Best of Both Worlds, in March of 2002. So on the Wendy Williams show, when Nas was doing that interview in June 27th of 2002, he called out Jay-Z for working with R. Kelly because around this time, the R. Kelly sex tape leaked of him peeing on an underage woman. So Nas called out Jay-Z for working with R. Kelly and says that he knows exactly what's going on with R. Kelly and the fact that he's touching up on underage women and having sex with them.
That movie, but I could have showed the R. Kelly video that everybody's talking about, made fun of it, and showed you Jay's hanging out. When Jay and I was in there going back to both worlds, you can't tell me Jay didn't see a 14-year-old girl come in the studio and sit on R. Kelly's lap. You can't tell me, you can't tell me that. It wasn't on that album, that he ain't never seen no 14-year-old girl come in the vicinity.
My belief is that anybody who's worked with him and been in his cipher has seen it go down.
You've seen it go down.
Yeah.
I've been around R. Kelly. I pay for that, brother. I've been on the trail with him. It didn't last too long, but I've been around him. I didn't see no 14-year-old, but I talked to the man, and I've seen there's a little problem there. The brother needs help, and I pray for him. But if I sit there and did an album about women with him, I'm definitely maybe indulgent. He had to be indulgent.
Yo, he said, if I ever make a song with him with women in it, nah, you already knew what time it was. He was not feeling it at all. No, hold up.
There's a little problem there. The brother needs help, and I pray for him. But if I sit there and did an album about women with him, I'm definitely maybe indulgent. He had to be indulgent for 14-year-olds, man. That's what I'm saying. What I'm here for the people, man. I'm here to talk the truth.
In that same Wendy Williams interview, Nas accused Flex of taking money under the table to play records. And he basically put a bounty on Flex's head and said, if you're a real man, take Flex's chain and give it to me. If you're a real man, when you see Flex, take off his chain and I got something for you. If If you're a rap artist, that's real, smack that guy, man. The following day, on June 28th, 2002, Nas decided to go back up to Power 105, and this time he didn't hold anything back. He decided to respond to Funkmaster Flex and Angie Martinez's comments of wanting to lynch Jay-Z. He decided to go in on Cameron and said his music is whack. He needs to step his bars up. And this is when the battle between Cameron and Nas started. He decided to go in on Nelly and said he's whack for going at KRS-One. And then he said a bunch of this stuff is just politics and you need to pay your way into getting into these battles, into getting into these shows, into getting radio play. He just went off completely at everyone.
I don't want to hear the radio disc jockey making records. That's terrible. I want to hear true hip-hop music, man. Nah, for real, man. I mean, you know, this is real, man. I mean, you guys got to realize, I ate it. They had a takeover show, and that was the song, ladies and gentlemen, the whack record Jay had, trying to come at me. They named the whole show on that station, The Takeover, and I ate that. They don't worry about my feelings. They ain't worry about my feelings when he made a record dissing my daughter's mother with derogatory things about women. And Jay just making records about how much he hates women, which is really makes me curious. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sitting here and they just support that and support everything he does. But when Nas, Godson, answers him back, they team up with the Eve. I buy these people albums, you know what I'm saying? And they ain't talking about nothing from Cam to everybody. I mean, I like Cam and everything. He's a good lyricist. But the album's whack, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all brothers got to start rapping about something that's real, man. You know what I'm saying? My man Nori, I love you, Nori. Step your rap game up, man. I'm tired of Nelly. You trying to battle KRS-One? Don't follow Nas, man. You can follow Nas if you're going to be creative, man.
And that weekend, he did another interview. And this time he clarified what he meant by putting a bounty on Funkmaster Flex's head. He says he regrets saying that because Flex is not built like that. Flex used to DJ at gay clubs, all kinds of stuff, going at Angie Martinez once again, going at Cameron and explaining why he went at Cameron, same with Nelly, and so on and so forth.
I brought up names like, you know, Cam, Nelly, Cameron because he had a hot single. The album to me is garbage, and that's how I feel. You know, rappers are scared to talk about these things, and the radio stations get paid to play these records over and over. The album's garbage. I'm saying step up your pen game. Noriega, I like Nori, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like he's really not taking this game serious enough. He's more talented than that. Who am I to decide? Who am I to say something? I'm a human being with opinion. Nelly, he made remarks about KRS-One. To me, it's outrageous. I don't know why I'm saying this. I don't know what's got into me. But one thing is I love the music too much, and I'll try to stay real to it. When I see people faking the funk, I can't have it. I bought Nelly album. I bought Nori album. Nelly's very talented, but just the battle between him and KRS-One, I ain't understand, and I spoke about it. No direction. The radio station, Angie Martinez makes records and really disgraces hip-hop music. Flex is on the air with a knack. His voice is nasty. He taking money under the table.
What about Flex, man? You kind of put a bounty on him.
All right, you know, I didn't mean that because as a real man, I'm not going to promote any violence. I'm not going to, you know, ask for any harm to be done to Flex. So, you know, I was outraged. I was angry. And I'm man enough to say I really don't want nothing to happen to him because he's not fit for it. He's not built for it. He's not made for it. He's just a mouth that gets paid to do whatever you want to do. You know what I'm saying? From my understanding, he's mixing in gay clubs. Now he's mixing on Hot 97. Well, you know, to each his own, but what I'm saying is he's not built to be in that position, so I take that statement back.
Then about a month later, on August 7th, 2002, Jay-Z stopped by Hot 97 to talk with Angie Martinez. He took over the whole show for 2 days straight. He responded to Nas's comments and decided to challenge him to a pay-per-view boxing match.
Nas, you know, on radio telling people to snatch somebody's chain, that's what you're taking outside of rap music, because how about somebody don't want their chain snatched? Nas gonna pay your, Nas gonna pay the bail. You know, say the cops get you. Let's just say the guy really don't want his chain snatched and something really happens to you. You know what I'm saying? And then is he gonna pay for the funeral? Is he gonna, what he's gonna tell your mom? Is he gonna go, you know, he's gonna have to sit down with your mom? So, but other than that, it's just rap music. Like it's wrestling. You know, he do a show.
Nas, do a show.
Yeah, I do a show.
Same place?
Same place.
Well, yeah, I think we winning a boxing match though between Nas and and Jay-Z. You feel me? Like, who you think will win? Jay-Z don't look like no fighter. I'm gonna keep it a buck for you. So for Jay-Z to even offer that is insane.
We get 3, we ended off, we get 3 freestyles, as we call them, but they're going to be prepared, 3, I prepared 3, I got like 50. We prepared 3, and we just do it, like we put up some money, I put up $1 million, we put up $1 million, we keep that money, but all the pay-per-view money, and all the money, all the proceeds that come from the pay-per-view, and the people come in the building, we just get at the charity.
Oh,
we pick a couple of them.
I love this.
That should generate a couple million now.
Then a week later, on August 14, 2002, Nas took word of that challenge and he told MTV, "Pay-per-view is for wrestlers and boxers. I make records. If Jay-Z wants a battle, he should drop his album the same day I do and let the people decide." Nas then said he would be dropping his 6th album, God's Son, on November 19th. Unfortunately, the album got pushed back and they never did that album sales battle. Then the subliminal diss tracks started coming once again. On October 29, 2002, the 8 Mile soundtrack came out. And track number 10 is Nas's You Wanna Be Me. And on this track, he's subliminally dissing Jay-Z.
Realize how many classics I gave you. Perhaps.
Oh, Nas is on this Eminem soundtrack. Oh, people been telling me to react to this soundtrack. If y'all want me to react to this, y'all comment it down below.
And track number 10 is Nas's You Wanna Be Me. And on this track, he's subliminally dissing Jay-Z.
Realize how many classics I gave you. Perhaps if you think back, you'll realize that I made you.
Then Jay-Z dropped his new album, Blueprint 2, The Gift and the Curse, on November 12th, 2002. And on the title track, he's sending subliminal shots at Nas.
I'm back for you, had a chance to miss me. My mama can't save you this time, niggas is history.
Yo, dang, you said my mama can't save you this time. Your name is history.
Nah. And on the title track, he's sending subliminal shots at Nas.
I'm back for you, had a chance to miss me. My mama can't save you this time, niggas is history.
Then Nas drops his new album, God's Son, about a month later on December 13th, 2002. And on the track, Last Real Guy Alive, he talks about the battle with Jay-Z and what he could have done differently. And he says Jay-Z was kicking him while he was down because he was caring for his mom. So when Jay-Z went at him on Summer Jam, he couldn't really even focus on the battle.
I gave it all up so I could chill at home with mama. She was getting old and sick, so I stayed beside her. In the middle of that, Jay tried to sneak attack, assassinate my character, degrade my hood.
Nas wasn't gonna make no diss record back. We had to force Nas to do that, man. I remember pulling up one day, Nas was driving in front of me. I was behind him, I jumped out of my car, got in his car, and left my car in the street in the city of Manhattan. Keys in the ignition, door open and everything. Got in his car yelling, yo, we gotta get this dude.
Also, another track on God's Son was Made You Look. And on this track, Nas was responding to Jay-Z's pay-per-view battle bout and said that he's going to send shots his way. Now we are in 2003. And for the most part, this battle has died down. The only subliminal shots sent was when Jay-Z decided to promote his Black album and he went on BET's Rap City and spit a freestyle slightly going at Nas.
They shooting, nobody dying. Somebody better put somebody body on somebody eyeing. Sometime soon, somebody lying. I ain't buying that cause y'all shoveling. I ain't ducking for nothing, cousin. I'm too tall to act small, you liars.
Then Nas sent some more subliminal shots at Jay-Z on the Braveheart single Quick to Back Down, which was released in December of 2003.
First of all, this is Nas, I'm a Braveheart veteran. And y'all already know who I'm better than. I know the thief in the hood, it'll never end.
And those were the final subliminal shots sent at each other. As we know, in 2003, Jay-Z decided to retire with the Black album, and Nas was just focusing on his career, and they stayed away from each other's paths. Then we fast forward to October 27th, 2005. Jay-Z announces he's headlining Power 105's Powerhouse concert and decided to name his headlining concert I Declare War. And Jay-Z said that he's going to air out some rappers on stage. Of course, a lot of people thought, he's going to start dissing more rappers and it would end up becoming something worse. But what Jay-Z actually did was end the beef of any rappers that he had with. And on this stage, he decided to bring out Nas. So the two performed Dead Presidents and The World Is Yours. And the crowd was going absolutely nuts because they thought they'd never see these two come together.
Me and him hadn't spoken. We saw each other in places, but there was no conversation, no dialogue. And
I got a question. So were they cool at one point and they just became enemies? Or like they just knew of each other because their names going around the streets, them being big artists from like around the same area? You feel me? How that work? And Nas don't look comfortable at all. That brother like, man, I don't even know why I'm doing this for real. Like he look, I don't know, he look type hurt. Like what's going on? You feel me? Like, nah.
They never see these two come together.
Me and him hadn't spoken. We saw each other in places, but there was no conversation, no dialogue. And L.A. Reid, who was then the man at Def Jam, he said, "Would you be willing to talk to Jay?" And then, you know, this thing is old by now. I'm like, yeah. We went down to the studio, man. We just dapped each other up, started laughing. And the first thing Jay said to me, man, "Yo, you all right?" And I guess he heard about my mom passing, and beyond everything else, he looked at me and said, "Yo, man, you all right, man?" And I said, "Yo, this is a beautiful start right here."
This is for our culture, this is for hip-hop, we love y'all!
Fast forward to January of 2006, and Nas decides to leave Columbia Records, the label he's been with since the start of his career, and decides to sign to Def Jam. The crazy thing about this was that Jay-Z became the president of Def Jam in late 2004. So Nas and Jay-Z now were under the same label, and Jay-Z was the president, Nas was the artist, and it looked like these two became a lot closer, and it was crazy to see. Then Nas and Jay-Z sat down together for an interview with MTV in 2006 to talk about their battle, to talk about how they became friends again, and everything in between.
The streets is watching, they're definitely talking. Why here and why now? It's bigger than both of us because it's not really about us. I mean, it is, but it really isn't. You know what I'm saying? It's more so about the culture, and also about the ending, and also about showing people another way. Because what we staged was something just stop the world for a second.
But it was always respect. It wasn't a point where, you know, he wanted to gun me down, I wanted to gun him. It was never that, you know, because that's not how I think how real bosses move or how real men move.
Then on December 19th, 2006, Nas dropped his new album, Hip Hop Is Dead, and for the first time ever, Nas and Jay-Z officially collaborated on the track Black Republican. Then the following year, Jay-Z dropped American Gangster, and they would collaborate once again on the track Success, and so on and so forth. They made a lot of tracks together as time went on. They performed together multiple times at Coachella in 2014, and just recently in April of 2019, they performed once again together. That's it for their battle. Now let's get into the opinion side of this, where I talk about who won the battle portion of.
All right, we're gonna see if he really if he meat Ryder for real.
The beef, which is the short-term portion of the beef in the midst of the battle, who won, and then I talk about who won the war portion, which is after the battle settled, who had better longevity, who had a better career. For the battle portion, I give this one to Nas, and here's why. The debate, for the most part, is about Takeover versus.
Okay. He being truthful. Takeover versus Ether though. Takeover is a great song. That's a great song. The Blueprint alone is a great album. That's like if I had to take a guess on what I would rate that whole album, bro, I'd rate it like a 9.5, bro. And Stillmatic, I have to give it a 10, but that's maybe me being biased. So they're not that far off though. Blueprint and Stillmatic is not that far off. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. Just being honest.
If you listen to Takeover, a lot of people say it was just facts, and that's why it goes harder and stuff like that. But if you listen to Ether, you'll see that it's facts as well. A lot of what Nas said became true or was true. Nas on Ether said that Jay-Z took Biggie's rhymes. Jay-Z did spit a lot of the same lines Biggie spit. On top of that, Nas said that Jay-Z is the type of person to apologize. Well, when Super Ugly came out, a couple days later, he ended up apologizing. Nas also said that Jay-Z is disrespectful towards women, and as we all know, when we heard Super Ugly, that was mad disrespectful to a woman. Now, Takeover had a lot of facts as well, but a lot of it was opinionated too. When Jay-Z was talking about Nas delivering bad albums, he delivered one good album every 10 years. That's mainly an opinion, that's not a fact, even though sales-wise could indicate that maybe it wasn't that great of an album. Plus, on Takeover, Jay-Z isn't directly focused on Nas. When it comes to Ether, that whole track is...
I don't really think sales really matter. I feel like sales are for the fans. Like, that's for, like, people who support that artist. That's for y'all to throw in another fan base's face, like, oh, Nas fell off because he only sold 70,000 first week. 70,000 sales is still great. That's like, well, it's not great. I say it's good. I say it's a very good first week. Compared to this generation, very good. I feel like 100,000 is great in this generation. Anything over 100,000 is considered great in this generation. Back then, Nas sold 300K first week on Stillmatic. So imagine what he sold on Illmatic. Or It Was Written. Oh my God, nah. I'm not gonna lie to you. You feel me? But yeah, I don't know. I feel like album sales don't matter. I feel like it's personal preference which you prefer in the album. That's why, in my opinion, I don't think Illmatic is his best album. But like I said, I keep saying this, I have to go back and react to it. I actually make another video to it. But I think I'm gonna do that later on down the line. But I got Stillmatic, even though Stillmatic probably has less sales, but I still got it over that just because my personal preference, my humble opinion. You feel me?
Dedicated to Jay-Z. On Takeover, as we know, the first half is dedicated to Prodigy of Mobb Deep, and then the second half is dedicated to Nas, because on that track, Jay-Z was basically responding to everyone that wanted problems with him. However, I do like Takeover sonically more because of the production, and to me, it seems to have more replay value. I noticed while making this documentary, I ended up playing Takeover more than Ether, but that's just my personal opinion. Plus, Nas...
And plus, I would say it got more radio attention because Jay-Z had all the connections with all the big-time radio people. You feel me? I felt like Nas was already getting blackballed because they had this stigma on him saying that he fell off, or like he wasn't the same Nas from Illmatic and It Was Written. You feel me? Once you come out with two hot albums, it's hard to try to top that on consistently. It's hard. You drop the best album of your whole entire life as your first album. It's hard to try to beat that in your next albums. You feel me? I'm talking about, like, you think Michael Jackson would have made a better album than the album he had with Billie Jean on there? Rock With You? He had all those bangers on there, bro. Like Off the Wall, that whole album, that's the album. Off the Wall, I think, if I'm not mistaken, he had all them bangers. You think he could top that? It'd be very hard to top it. Very, very hard to top it. And if you do, Michael Jackson must be the only person who could do it. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. Michael Jackson, it seemed like every song was a classic for him.
Seems to have more replay value. I noticed while making this documentary, I ended up playing Takeover more than Ether, but that's just my personal opinion. Plus, Nas's Ether track became a whole verb. When someone gets destroyed, whether it's in hip-hop or in anything in life, a lot of people say you got ethered. They don't say you got takeovered. Also, during the battle, another slight towards Jay-Z was that Jay-Z put Memphis Bleek in front of this battle just to test out Nas to see what he was going to do. That was sort of a weak move to me. I felt like Jay-Z should have just gone straight for Nas, even though he was the first one to pop.
Dang, so he used Memphis Bleek as bait to be like, all right, we gonna see if Nas take the bait. If he take the bait, I'm gonna back you up on this. You should have just went in for the kill. You feel me? You being scary. Nah, come on now.
Quickly go at Nas. He should have just ended it right in the beginning of like 1999, right when things started to heat up. He should have just jumped into it and not have Memphis Bleek go back and forth with Nas. On top of that, another thing that slights Jay-Z in this battle was that the freestyles that he released going at Nas that were bad were swept under the rug, like those two tracks I mentioned before he released Super Ugly in December of 2001. Even Nas mentioned that, and that's a good point to make, that those freestyles were so bad that people don't even mention them. And if you release a bad freestyle during the midst of the battle, right when it's at its highest peak, that's definitely not a good look for you. So overall for the battle, I definitely give it to Nas. Okay. Even Jay-Z and Dame Dash at the time when they heard Ether, they were going crazy. They didn't know how to react to it. Jay-Z, when he did the interview with Andrew Martinez, acted very not confident anymore, and he just acted like he was thrown off by how good Nas responded to him. Plus, Jay-Z, of course, attacked Nas while Nas was dealing with his mother, battling cancer.
Yeah, that is a weak move, though. I'm not gonna lie to you. You're not supposed to do that. Like, certain stuff should be off limits. Like, kids should be off limits, and mothers should be off limits. Once you get to that point, you could take it to violence. I'm gonna keep it a buck.
It's a serious thing. So Nas wasn't even focused and didn't even want to respond to Jay-Z at that time. Let's not forget that, because he was more focused on taking care of his mother than actually going at it with.
It wasn't even taking care of her. He just wanted to spend more time with her. Like, he literally said he was in the song that we heard, that the little snippet that we heard, he said that he was sitting home with his mom trying to spend time with her, and Jay-Z tried to sneak attack him. Like, he tried to kick him down. He tried to keep him down. Like, that's not how that worked, brother.
Jay-Z. So while that was going on behind the scenes, he still managed to make Ether and just completely destroy Jay. Now let's talk about the war portion. After the battle settled down, who had the better career going forward? And I would give this one to Jay-Z.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Who had a better career as far, okay, he's probably looking at it from a numbers aspect. Number-wise, yes, Jay-Z maintained a higher career, a better career. I think even Nas supporters can agree, but if you're a Nas supporter, it's probably going to be hard for you to agree, because you're like, Nas is the GOAT. Like, I never admit someone's better than him. But, I get it.
Because when Nas left Columbia Records, he decided to sign to Def Jam. And a lot of people saw that as Nas signing under Jay-Z after that battle. And that definitely wasn't a good look for Nas, because Nas was looked at as a legend. Jay-Z, of course, is a legend too. But Nas' status is so high. Why would he sign under a label that's run by his former enemy? So it just overall looked like a weak and confusing move for Nas. Of course, Nas might not look at it like that, because Nas is a very uplifting person. He likes to uplift the artists. He doesn't like to start battles and beefs. Only when he gets poked is when he starts to go back and forth with people. But Nas likes to help other artists, and he doesn't look at it like, nah, Jay-Z is this and I'm this and I'm not supposed to be signing with him or helping him or doing any work with him. He looks at it as, we're brothers teaming up to build something great, which is a great outlook on things, but that's what the public views it as, and I can see why. Plus, moving forward, Jay-Z's music career has gone better and better and better as time went on. I'm not saying that Nas fell off completely, but his projects weren't as impactful as Jay-Z. Like when Jay-Z released the 444 album, everyone was talking about it. Everyone was talking about certain tracks, lines that were going at newer artists. It was just a great hip-hop culture moment. Then when Nas dropped in 2018 his Nasr album, it wasn't really received well, and it kind of came and went. The reviews were subpar on it. It didn't really have an insane impact. It was the fact that it was attached to Kanye West that got it a little attention. But other than that, most people did not care. Plus, if we're looking at business-wise, Jay-Z has gone to a whole different level and is looked at as probably one of the greatest businessmen in hip-hop ever. And Nas in this field is doing amazing as well. He has a lot of investments in a lot of companies. And I made a video about 8 months ago where he sold the Ring investment that he had to Amazon for like $10 million or something like that. And he has great investments, great business ideas. It's just not out there in the public like Jay-Z. It's more low-key. So Nas is doing great in the business field as well. Just Jay-Z's impact in that has been way, way better. But that's it. That's my take on Nas versus Jay-Z, who won the battle and who won the war. That's it for this episode of Who Really Won. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. This definitely was one of the greatest hip-hop battles ever. Two icons going at it in their prime. So I had a lot of fun making this. So I hope you guys had a lot of fun watching it as well. With that being said, leave a comment below. Let me know on the episode you guys want me to work on next. If you want to support this channel further, you can do so at patreon.com/.
All right, man. Y'all comment down below. Y'all tell me who y'all think won right there. won the little battle between them, man. And as y'all see, man, it's 4:03 in the morning. It's been an hour of me recording. If y'all don't watch this video, bro, I don't know what to tell y'all, bro. I'm tired. I want y'all to comment down below. Y'all tell me who y'all think won the battle and who won the war. You feel me? Because it's always a battle and then there's a war. You feel me? I feel like Nas won the battle, but who won the war? I mean, Nas ended up signing with Def Jam, which Jay-Z was the president, which could be looked at as like kind of a soft move. But like he was saying, Nas is so positive, he doesn't look at it like that. He look at it like, you feel me, we just teaming up to be bigger, to be better together versus against each other. You feel me? So I mean, I don't know. It's all an opinion-based thing. Literally everything between two artists is opinion-based anyways, as far as like who's better, who has the most hits and all that stuff, you feel me? But y'all make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, turn on the post notification bell to be notified every time I drop a video, man. I'll see y'all in the next one. Hope y'all enjoy, man.